Hello everybody, today I just wanted to release my theory craft for Druid and what I think is going to be good going into season 4. Now, with that being said, this is just a theory craft, we'll see how it goes, but post patch notes they did 75% CDR cap. They also did a cap on armor, so it's much easier to hit armor, so I made some adjustments, so I'm no longer running things like juggernauts and stuff like that, because it's really not necessary. By the time you hit level 100, you should have armor, and if you don't have it, yeah, you can just put juggernauts on if you're like really early on, and it'll give you a super boost to your armor, which would be really nice. So just to kind of go over it real fast, so I am running rabies in this. I put violent aspect on here. We have cooldown reduction, companion skills, armor, debilitating roar cooldown, and Raven's attack speed. Here I have aspect of might because I am running claw, so that'll give us 20% damage reduction. I have Raven's attack speed, debilitating roar cooldown, debilitating roar, 8 armor, and max life. The reason for this is because I am trying to just get my debilitating roar cooldown, see how far down I can get it, because that'll help out with survivability and stuff like that. I'm trying out rabies, but I might end up switching back to earthen bulwark and whatnot, depending on how things go. Moving right along, we have Gloves of the Accursed Touch. This just gives us easy access to vulnerable. It's the main reason I'm running it. Really the only reason I'm running it. Attack speed. Hold on a second here. Let me switch this over. Critical strike damage. And we don't need the lucky hit chance. Sorry, this is... There we go. Right. Okay, attack speed, critical strike damage, critical strike chance. I am going a little bit more into the wolves. The reason for that is because in the post patch notes, they are buffing wolves' health by 200%, and they are reducing the respawn rate by 50%. So the wolves will respawn 100% faster, and on top of that, they are going to have 200% more health. So I am leaning into wolves for another reason as well, is that they are going to be what you can get the most ranks in out of any companion skill you have. So a lot of what I do with this build will have more of a wolf focus. However, there are going to be certain effects that other things are going to proc. So I'm not completely into it, but it's not going to be like what it was last season, where it's easy to get like super high ranks to all your companion skills. Unfortunately, Poison Creeper and Ravens, they're all going to be lagging behind wolves just because it's just, I don't know, just a lot easier to get stuff for wolves right now. And it says +7 to wolves, but with master working, you should be able to get this up to like a +10. So even in the Druid build, we're looking at getting like almost 20 ranks into wolves, which is going to be like pretty darn good. If they're also inheriting more of our critical strike damage, that's also going to be really good. We also have, the wolf's attack speed stuff. So just overall, like I said, pretty darn good. I'm trying to do a nice even split on the utility stats. So, I have about 80% Raven's attack speed here. So that's going to reduce the how long it takes for this passive to go down. I have Wolf's attack speed here, so I can try to help increase their attack speed. They also get an attack speed buff right here, so they get 25% attack speed for 3 seconds. I am wondering, though, if this actually exceeds the maximum attack speed. The reason I say that is because it kind of words similarly to accelerating aspect. So it does make me wonder, and I'm going to have to test that out going into Season 4. And then they're getting another 30% attack speed here, so they're getting 55% just from the skill tree. And then they're getting 25% here, so 75%. So I am still missing a little bit of wolf attack speed, it looks like, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll get it going, because I'm assuming they're not going to inherit any of my attack speed. If they do, then honestly the wolf attack speed stat would technically be useless unless the wolf attack speed does end up being able to surpass that 100% cap, which, I guess it could be, but we'll have to see. It's just going to be more things to test as Season 4 goes live. Okay, so that being said, moving right along. So we have Storm's Companion on. It just supercharges our wolves, makes them do more damage, makes them do lightning damage. gives a nice +7 to them, just super solid. It also gives us damage reduction, which is a stat that is no longer available on regular gear. So that has actually kind of buffed uniques in a way, because they're the only item that's going to have straight up damage reduction on them. All right, moving right along to, we have Craven Runic Cleats. It's because we're running Rabies. We're also running Poison Creeper. So we gain 40% increased movement speed when moving away from slowed or chilled enemies. We do have Neurotoxin, so any poisoned enemies are going to be slowed. So yeah, pretty solid. It's going to have, we went for the +8 to Rabies, 18% move speed, wolf attack speed, movement speed, and resistance to all elements to try to help shore up our thing. I have noticed that Druid was probably the hardest one to build so far this season. Like, it was very easy for me to come up with some pretty functional like solo companion skill builds, but man, running all three this season, it really is a doozy. But keep in mind, it will be stronger than last season because of just how stats have changed. But coming up with like the most cohesive build possible is definitely a challenge for me, and I'm trying, and I'm honestly still am probably going to make more improvements and adjustments to this. Okay, so we have Aspect of the Stampede and one additional companion. In addition, your companion skills deal 30% bonus damage. We ended up running both of these because I wanted to try to get more CDR for our debilitating roar. It's the main reason why I have this. It's simply just because I'm trying to see how low of a cooldown I can get debilitating roar on, because it's going to be a massive survivability tool. Also, it lets us run Shepherd's Aspect, since we are running 2 and then 4 and 3, so we got like 9 things out. This is giving us a 90% damage increase to our Rabies, so that's pretty cool. Another thing you can do too here is you can run Aspect of the Elements, and that kind of sort of makes up for this. But yeah, we're going attack speed, critical strike damage, companion damage, and then we're looking at Elemental Surge. So Elemental Surge is getting nerfed. I don't know by how much, they didn't really say, but they did say it's getting nerfed, and as long as they don't nerf it into the ground or it's completely useless, this is going to be the best stat, because when you have your wolves that have a 50% lucky hit chance, you have a 50% lucky hit chance, plus claws, a chance to attack twice. This is just really effective, actually. In like Elemental Surge is really effective in this build. Not only that, you put Rabies on them, which has a 30% lucky hit chance, and then you put and Rabies itself has a 50%, right? So like, again, that's a poison, that's a dot that has a 50% lucky hit chance. So that's very interesting to me as well, right? Because it should be proccing this like mad as well. So, and that is also why I'm trying to masterwork these, is because I think that with the wolves attacking so much, with the poison creepers attacking so much, with the ravens coming down even faster with your passive, because you have the raven attack speed, I think they can proc Elemental Surge and make extremely effective use of this stat. We'll see, as always, but yeah. So moving right along to the necklace, we're going cooldown, Call of the Wild, movement speed, companion damage, and clarity. Now, this right here, so clarity was able to be rolled on your necklace and your rings. People are speculating that this will not be the case going into Season 4. They have not said, I did not see anything in the patch notes, correct me if I'm wrong. So, in my opinion, the best thing to do is actually to run clarity, because if you don't know what this does, in the event that it does happen to make it to live, which I don't know if it will, but if it does, I think it's best to run clarity, because you can see here it gives our next core or wrath skill damage increased critical strike chance, which doesn't really matter because we're running Rabies, but it increases its damage by up to 45%. So if we have 3 ranks here, you add another 4 here, 4 here, 4 here. So if 3 is 45, that means 4 is going to be 60. So 45, 60, so that's going to be 105, 165, 220% increased Rabies damage as long as we cast our Rabies after we cast 3 companion abilities, right? So that's just going to be an astronomical amount of Rabies damage going out. So I felt like, it was worth a shot. But if this doesn't end up making it to live, very easy fix. You can come down here, you could run Rabies cooldown reduction, because I personally don't think it's worth it to run the companion cooldown reduction. However, again, I am going to be testing that, because you can see here, if we go down here to our utility, I do have 40% CDR. So if we went and we did go the companion cooldown reduction, and it was able to get us up to 75% mark, which I don't know if it will. I don't know if it's enough because of the way crit adds. It's multiplicative, not additive, and you really want your cooldown to be additive, but they made it multiplicative, so you get diminishing returns on it. I don't really want to go into the math on that, but the easiest way to put it is because instead of trying to increase a number that's gradually getting bigger and bigger, it has the opposite effect on cooldown, where it means that you get like a diminishing return, to where as you get more of it, it gets smaller and smaller. So I don't know if having the 25% will make up for that, but we'll see. We'll see. And then if the clarity doesn't roll here, you definitely want to at least get one on Call of the Wild, because that's going to be a big multiplicative increase. Preferably, you are going to want, both ranks on that. But yeah, it's going to be really difficult. So if you were to get like one here and then like, 2 here or something like that, that's probably fine. Yeah, so movement speed, cooldown reduction, cool. We have Edge Masters, resourceless build, no reason, absolutely no reason to not run it. Resourceless build, super good for this, going to impact our rabies, poison creeper, our ravens, our wolves. It's going to do everything, so it's really good. Okay, then we have the Beast or Rampage. Companions also gain the bonuses from Beast or Rampage key passive when you do, so that's pretty awesome. And keep in mind, another cool synergy here is that when I gain it, right, it will increase my rabies damage as well. So this actually has like perfect synergy. It increases the rabies damage. It increases all my companions damage. It's very, very good, I think, for this build. Yep, and then I think I might be a little overcapped on attack speed here. Am I? 21, let's see, 21, 40, 60, 80, so 100 with, okay, so I actually am a little capped. I could change one of my attack speed rolls, since I'm only using Claw, technically, and I also have Bestial Rampage. I don't necessarily, actually, I can get rid of 2 of these attack speed rolls. I just realized this. Hold on. Changes attack speed to, best thing here, I think, is going to be Lucky Hits. Edge Masters, heck, and there we go. Yeah, sorry, that should be better. I don't know why. Yeah, so it should be Lucky Hit here because we get so much attack speed from other bonuses. So yeah, and 100% attack speed, I believe, is the cap. So yeah, we have our 9230 armor. We are in fact capped on resistances. We have the resist all here. I have a very specific Paragon board. So here's the skill tree, just so you guys can take kind of a gander at this. The link will be in the description below. Boom, boom. Come out here, max all this out. Brutal Wolf Pack, Ravens, Brutal Ravens, Ferocious Poison Creeper. Good stuff, good stuff. 3 into Clarity, bunch into Rabies. And I'm curious how this right here is going to interact with everything. Because if this does cap it to where no matter what, its poisoning damage will be done in 4 seconds, this is going to be so freaking good, but we'll see how that ends up turning out. So you and your companions gain 30% bonus critical strike damage against poisoned enemies, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty good. Then yeah, Bestial Rampage. So that's what that looks like going into the Paragon. So I opted for Keeper here because it's going to give our wolves a nice damage increase. It'll also give our Poison Creeper a nice damage increase and our Rabies a nice damage increase. Does not really benefit Ravens as much because it's a 10% damage increase to non-physical. This is physical, so unfortunate, but no big deal. And it also increases our Lucky Hit here of deal 50,000 poison damage, deal 50,000 poison damage. That's good. I picked up a lot of Resist All here. So you can see here, I'm just, really, really trying to stack as much Resist All as I can. Came down here, grabbed some max life and armor. So we can try to be pretty tanky. My max life's only 20,000, which I think is pretty low. I might try to get that up a little bit, but we'll see. Then we come up here, obviously Wilds. It's the GOAT for companion skills. Come on over here. Then we have Spirit. This right here is insane because since we have Envenom and stuff like that, it really juices up. Envenom plus Avian Wrath is 2 30% multiplicative critical strike damage increases, so it really juices up our critical strike damage. Then coming up here, just picking up Heightened Malice. Coming over here, some extra poison damage. And then over here for some poison resistance and armor. It'll make it really easy for you to hit your poison cap. because I believe, yeah, poison is the one that I am just like turbo overcapped on, but the rest of them you can see I have like almost on like 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, on 3 of them I have like perfect. It's literally like exactly perfect. Come over here. And keep in mind when it's exactly perfect like that, it's important that you follow the path that I go, because I specifically go certain nodes. So like you'll see like an option where you could go willpower or you could go intelligence, and it'll still be the same number of nodes to get to the next thing you're trying to get to. At some points you need to go those intelligence ones. That's what I did to get here. So yeah, Bane, because this gives us a 15% chance to deal double the amount of damage over their duration, which is obviously insane for rabies. Like, you know, so on top of the clarity, and then you have a chance to do double that. So the rabies is going to be, it should be doing a ton of damage. Human, mainly doing this because it's 10% damage reduction. Coming over here, did this because it's 10% damage reduction. Picked up the all resist here. Okay, coming down here. Oh wait, no, I think that's it actually. Is that it? Yeah, I believe that, yeah, okay, that's it for the old Paragon. I might take another shot at making this a little bit more optimal, because I think if I actually visit this board first for the all resist, it will actually make it easier. I think there's like some little min maxes I could do here to potentially improve this Paragon board. But yeah, so anyway, guys, this is going to be the season 4, I guess, first draft of the Zoo Druid. I hope you guys like it. So far, you know, it hits the armor cap, it hits the all resist, it has rabies in it, which is cool. It really maxes out our companion damage with one thing. Depending on how the cooldown goes, we could end up dropping this, going two-hander, and then going something like Aspect of the Stampede, or maybe we drop a Cursed Touch, put Stampede there, and then still go Shepherds for that double aspect, right? Because I don't want to give up, because I am trying to focus more on the companion side of things, not so much on this. So you could technically swap these two things out, so you get less from your alpha, but I kind of want to keep the alpha because I want to keep that companion theme going, as opposed to just trying to make this a rabies build. So yeah, but anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.